Well, Lee, welcome to Swindon Town. How's it feel to be at the club?
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. I'm excited to be here. I've been looking for an opportunity to get back in the game, and thankfully this has come up at the right time, and hopefully I can make an impact at the club and play a part of staying in the division.
And talk us through how the move sort of came about. How did it come that you were going to come and join us here?
Well, I've known the goalie coach Steve for a while. Always had a decent relationship with him. We had a bit of contact over the last sort of month or so since I left Coventry. It's probably took a little bit longer than we'd have both liked for it to sort of work out, but that's football and the environment of the way football is at the minute and the way the world is at the minute. Things take time to happen. And that was it really. It all started with a conversation and it's progressed from there.
Was there anything about Swindon that made you want to come in particular?
The challenge, obviously the position the club's in, and they're fighting for their status in League One. That was like a bit of a law for me. And obviously, like I mentioned before, Steve, I've got a good relationship with him. I'd like to work with him, and hopefully it works both ways. It gives me an opportunity to get back in the game and continue playing, which I want to do for as long as possible, and hopefully helps you guys out at the same time.
And apart from obviously you mentioned relationship you have with Mildy, the goalie coach, was there any other boys within the squad or anyone sort of part of the staff that you knew before coming, or was it just him?
I know Brett. I played with Brett before at Bournemouth many moons ago. Always kept in contact with him when we played against each other and things. So I've always had a good relationship with Brett, and I know Grounds over the last couple of years of being at Birmingham together. We'd had a couple of conversations as well over WhatsApp about the club and things. So, but yeah, I've been around a while and pretty much met most people, or unfortunately Father Time is what it is. So yeah, they were the two that I know, but I've an idea of the squad, of the players that are here, the names. Played against a few over the years. I keep an idea of what's going on in the game. So yeah, they were the two main ones that I knew some sort of relationship, I should say.
And sort of for those fans, everyone knows you've got a fair amount of experience within the Football League. For those that maybe don't know so much about sort of where you've come from, can you just give us a brief sort of summary of how your sort of career's played out?
Bit of a journeyman, to be honest with you. No, I started at Derby as a kid and managed to get into come through the academy there and get into the first team, which was fantastic to represent my hometown club. I've always wanted to play. That's always been important to me. I've never chased just staying at a place to earn some money. I've always wanted to be the first choice goalie or competing for it. So, which is probably the reason why I've had a few places where I've fallen out of favour, or a new manager, whatever it is. I don't really see the point in hanging around draining somebody's resources or wasting your time. I think life's short and your career's even shorter. So that's kind of how I've always looked at it. I've bobbed about a bit and I had some clubs. Thankfully, I've always been in and around the Championship level, which is hard to do. You have to fight and scrap. But yeah, that's kind of is. I just get about my work and do the best I can, and hopefully have an impact while I'm here.
And has there ever been a point sort of in your career where, because obviously with Swindon's position at the minute, we are fighting for relegation, there's those sort of beating around the bush. Have there been any points in your career that you can sort of bring back memories of to sort of apply to your sort of role here at the club?
Well, unfortunately, I've always been in and around the bottom end of the Championship in some of the clubs I've been at. I think when I first went into Forest on loan, they were fighting at the bottom. Rotherham, we had a couple of years of fighting and staying up. I went into Bournemouth, and they were a newly promoted club. Although they weren't fighting relegation, they were facing the challenges of making that step up. And then in recent years in Birmingham, it's been tough with the stuff going off the field, and which has sort of led on to the on-field stuff. So I've got plenty of experience of unfortunately being in this environment. Time at Sunderland where I went into a tough situation, unfortunately couldn't apply enough to change it. Myself and everyone else there, we couldn't turn the ship round, but I've got an idea of what needs to be done and how to sort of get a team, or not get a team, or that's not my job to organise a team, but be a voice at the back and try and shepherd a back four or back three through a game, and hopefully my experience on and off the field will help.
And yeah, I mean, how sort of vital is that? Because, like you said, we've got a fair amount. We've got Brownsy, Brett, Caddis. They're all experienced lads. How much of a, how important is it on the younger lads that you instill sort of that confidence, and they've got a hell of a career in front of them? How do you sort of bring that into sort of the way you are around the team?
I think it's really important. I think this is a time where if you're not a leader, you have to stand up and be a leader, because this is a crunch time of the season. I'm not a leader in terms of I will go in and scream and want to fight players in the changing room and have the old school methods, as I've seen over the years. I try and lead by example. I'll always be positive with people, and if someone has to be told something, I'll always try and do it in the right way. I'll always take on the same coming at me. I always feel you have to communicate with one another. But I think not just in this situation with Swindon in this moment, I think in general older players have a responsibility to pass on knowledge and experience down to younger players, because you only gain experience by doing and being involved in good and bad. But you can also help players along and help them smell things and see things coming before they come, and lend your experience that way, and also having some humanity about you, of knowing that when somebody's struggling or someone's doing well, how to manage that situation, because you've seen it a million times, and it can be an emotional game, football. Fans, staff, players can all get emotions. You need level heads, and don't get too high when it's high and don't get too low when it's low, and just stay nice and consistent and keep your behaviours going in the right direction.
And I suppose as well, it's for all the time you've been playing, you've had fans probably about 10 foot behind you being a goalkeeper. How's it been, and I bet you probably get asked this all the time, but how's it been sort of playing last season without that atmosphere behind you? Does it help you, or is it more of a hindrance to you as a goalkeeper?
I don't think it really helps or hinders either way, personally. I will say that's from me speaking, because you totally focused as a goalkeeper. You do have periods where you stand and you don't do a lot, and you have to remain focused and see what's going on in front of you. But in general, it does change the atmosphere, and the games don't have that same bite and that same feel about it, and the fans are missed. I mean, I take plenty of abuse, which is part and parcel of the game, and I love that side of it and that interaction with the fans and hopefully once we come out of this situation, this pandemic, and fans are able to come back into the grounds, that it will make a big difference. But at the moment, if that's not the case, we've got to find the motivation within, and put all that to one side and find results. And like I say, hopefully when they come back, there's a new appreciation for the fans from the players and the football club that they've been sorely missed.
And as a goalkeeper, I know it must be hard to answer, but is your approach, are you focused on sort of your game solely, or is it more now a case of saying, right, well, we've got to make sure that the guys in front of me know exactly what I expect of them and they expect of me, sort of thing?
Well, it's both. I'll be vocal, I'll be loud. They'll know what I want. It's as simple as that, and I'll make sure they do it. That's the whole point. I can see everything. They're in the heat of the battle, where, like I said, goalkeepers stand for so long, which I can see things happening, and I got to use my voice and communicate with them to see that happening. Hopefully that's where the experience comes through, that we can nip things in the bud on the pitch and off the pitch and all them sort of things before they even start to happen, and hopefully I can pass them on to them, and I'll be a positive influence on them, and yeah. But there is an element I need to focus on myself as well, just to, like I say, get my sea legs back under me. But the games are more mental than they are physical, so a lot of the work will be done on the training ground, and then building a relationship with the boys at the back and the players in front of them to make sure that we're solid and we're in games to win it.
Cool. Well, Lee, welcome, and
thank you.
we look forward to having you for the rest of the season.
Thank you.